Welcome to the Best of New Jersey podcast presented by bestofnj.com, the podcast that celebrates New Jersey's most influential figures and the communities that shape them. Big names, real talk, real Jersey. I'm your host, Amanda Morrison, the influencer behind Don't Sit Home. For today's episode, I would like to welcome singer, Broadway actor, and online math tutor, MathYOU Sims. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I'm so excited. So, this is the Best of New Jersey podcast. So let's just start Jersey first. Where are you from originally?
Originally, I am from Hammond, Louisiana.
Okay.
Yes, I have lived all over. I've lived in LA, Colorado, New York. And I lasted in New York for Atlanta, Georgia. I lasted in New York maybe 9 months, and I was like, oh, no.
Okay.
And so I ended up in New Jersey.
I mean, that's a big jump. So
Yeah.
What brought you to New Jersey?
Well, I knew New Jersey existed, but when you come to New York, you're like, I want to be in New York. So I made a mistake and booked an Airbnb in West New York, New Jersey, thinking it was New York. I didn't see the New Jersey part. And so when I got out of the Uber, I was like, I'm supposed to be on that side of the Hudson. I'm supposed to be over there. And so I stayed there for a couple weeks. They ended up, after that, I found a sublet in New York for months. And I was like, oh no, I want to go back over to Jersey. It's calm, it's cleaner, it's a better quality of life. And so that's how I got to New Jersey.
I have the opposite problem because I have rideshare cars that won't take me to West New York because they think it's New York. I'm like, no, I swear it's New Jersey. I absolutely swear, I'm not taking you to
I
New
get
York.
that. I get that all the time. Like if I'm going from New York to New York, they're like, no, we don't go over the bridge. We don't go over the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. So I can see the confusion. We have to pay attention to the state.
So how long ago was that?
2018. Actually, 2018.
Okay. So where are you now?
I am in Newark, New Jersey, downtown Newark, right outside of Ironbound, right outside of Newark Penn Station.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you like it?
I love it there as well. Everywhere that because I lived in Weehawken for some years, and I love that. My goal is to really live in Port Imperial, right on the water, so you can take the shuttle and the ferry into the city. I want to do that. So I was there for a few years, and then I moved to Newark in 2022. And it's cute. It's still close. It's not as close as Weehawken, but the commute time is still comparable. And so you get in there 2 stops into New York and 2 stops, and it's great. It's community. I walk around and see families walking around holding hands, and little restaurants that you can eat in that are like mom and pop places. It's cute.
Do you have it? Yeah. So mom and pop places. Do you have any favorite spots?
Oh, okay. So there's this place called O Escritorio. I think that's how you say it. But it's a charcoal grill place. It's like a barbecue place. It's not like the barbecue that I grew up eating in Louisiana.
Okay.
But so that's what drew me there. I would smell it all the time when I walked to acupuncture. And I would smell it. And I was like, that smells so good. I'm going to go. Went in there and fell in love. Like $20 gets you basically a pan as big as this table with ribs and chicken and rice and beans and french fries and bread, and it could feed you for a week. So I love going in there. The staff is amazing, the servers are great, and the food is pretty awesome. It's in Ironbound.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Oh, you need to go.
Do you have another favorite spot? Let's give another shout out to Newark.
You know what? Tops.
Okay.
Tops Diner.
Yeah.
Have you ever been there?
Yes, I have.
So I'm so bougie, not bougie. So when I got invited to this place, they were like, let's go to this diner. I was like, diner? Ugh, I don't eat at diners. I will never go to a diner. And she was like, no, please. And she was visiting. She was like, I heard this diner is really good. I'll just come pick you up and please just come with me. I was like, I'll come with you, but I will not eat there. When I walked in Tops, there was a DJ. It was huge. It was clean. It was like a party. It was a vibe. And the food is great. Everything that I've eaten there, and I live very close to there, so I eat there regularly, has been great.
I feel like a diner is an initiation to New Jersey, too.
It is, and I'm always like, I don't want that, because I think diner, it's been here a million years. They're not cleaning everything. I also used to work at Denny's, so I have a little PTSD. So I'm like, I know what things look like behind the thing there. So I'm like imagining, but no, it's great. It's great. So maybe I need to branch out and try more. I've heard of this Chit Chat Diner that I may want to try. It's just a little further from home. But, I mean, maybe you made a diner lover out of me.
Okay. I mean, Jersey can do that to someone. What is your favorite diner order?
Okay. I I get the spicy chicken salad, the buffalo chicken salad, or the Mediterranean salad. Also, I will get the sampler with the wings, the mozzarella sticks, and the chicken tenders. It's very chicken heavy. And they have the skillet cookie, which is my favorite dessert. They have the skillet cookie, chocolate chip cookie in the skillet with ice cream, and I asked them to hold the chocolate. I also like their fried rice, and I think that's those are my go-tos. Those are my go-tos. Like I always try with my parents come and get the meatloaf. I'm like, who orders meatloaf out? But okay, so they every time they come, they have to go to. I have to bring them 2 times. So they try things like that, and everything that I've eaten has been good.
Yeah. Okay. So Louisiana and Newark, New Jersey are 2 very different places.
Very.
So obviously, close to New York City for professional reasons. But growing up, did you always want to become was this your goal to become a singer and actor, or did you kind of just navigate through life and become who you are today?
A bit of both. I always wanted to be an actor. My parents, I came from a very traditional household. My dad is a pastor, mom was a teacher. They didn't understand that life. They were like, there's no money in that. You're not doing that. So you're going to find something else. So I went to school to be a math teacher. And I taught math for 6 years. And believe it or not, I taught at a school of, my last 4 years teaching, I taught at a school of the arts. And those students were preparing to be Broadway performers, actors, TV actors, singers. And I was a little jealous of the students. But I was teaching them math. So I would go to their performances. And on my 4th year, I said, I'm dropping out of school. I'm moving to LA to pursue acting full time. And that's what I did. So I was like maybe 30. Like doing what I wanted to do, like starting to live my life the way I wanted to live it. And so that's how I got into it.
Okay. How long were you in LA?
I was in LA from 2011 to 2017.
Okay. So what brought you back to the East Coast?
I booked a musical called Motown the Musical, the tour.
Okay.
And everyone on the tour was like a New York resident. And they were like, you belong in New York. And I was like, no, I don't. I want to live in LA. It's sunny. It's clean. If you keep hearing this word clean, I'm always about it has to be clean. It has to be clean. And I was like, New York is just so dirty. I don't like it. And I like New York better than LA.
Okay. So then even growing up, you wanted to do that. But what inspired you did you either lean towards acting or just singing, or did you just know you wanted to do it all?
I knew I wanted to do it. I knew I wanted to do it all. I wanted to be like Denzel Washington. That's who I wanted to be. I wanted to be him. And so I wanted to be a TV actor. I didn't really know much about musical theater. I hadn't heard of that until I watched this TV version of Hairspray. And I knew that album front to back to front. I still listen to it to this day. It's so good. And they did the movie version of it. And I was like, oh, I want to do that. But when I went to school for musical theater, I thought they were training me to be like the next Usher, Chris Brown. I didn't know they were going to be like, you stand on 0 and you sing and then you move to 7 and get out of the way. I didn't know it was going to be that.
Okay.
So I kind of got tricked a little bit. But my teacher started pushing me into the directions of where my strengths were. And so that's how I ended up doing cruise ships, and that's how I ended up doing Broadway things.
So is there any particular teacher or anyone in your life in general that you thought was encouraging? Because not that your parents weren't encouraging, but you're saying that that's maybe not a stable career path. So is there anyone that you said that was like, you can do this?
Yes, there was a professor, Tajma Beverly, Vicki Lewis, John Sloman. There's so many. Like now I'm naming names that I feel bad because like Wendy Rosoff. There's so many who I also still keep in contact with to this day. We're Facebook friends, who are along the journey and just like Bill Mesnick. He private coached me even outside of class because some of these teachers just really believed in me, even when I didn't see it for myself, because again, I'm coming to school as a 30-year-old. Some of these people are 19, 20, 23. They have been doing this since they were conceived. So I felt like a late bloomer. And sometimes I still feel like a late bloomer, but everyone's path is everyone's path. So yeah, some of those people or to highlight, but there's so many others I could name. But yes.
What was one of your first roles or kind of your step into being like, I mean, there's one thing of singing in the shower or doing a performance privately, but what was one of your first roles publicly?
Oh, one of my first. Okay. My first show, professional show, was actually in Hairspray. I got to do it regionally in Los Angeles. Todrick Hall played Seaweed. I wanted to be Seaweed so bad, but I mean, you got Todrick Hall, baby. I can't compare. He was like, his name.
Yeah.
So I got to be in ensemble in Hairspray. So that was my first show, and it was the show that got me to doing musical theater. So I thought it was phenomenal. I enjoyed going to work every single day.
Not everyone has a role that they could say that they enjoyed every single day of it in any profession, let
Right.
alone for acting. But I'm sure everything wasn't easy. So what were some of the challenges to getting to where you are now, or even just the early days when you really still believed in yourself?
I think some of the challenge. Well, I don't think I know. Some of the challenges are first, like where do I even start to get where I'm trying to get? I'm a teacher in a classroom. If I leave this classroom, this is a stable paycheck. If I leave Atlanta and move to Los Angeles, which is one of the most expensive cities in the world, how do I make this happen and then go to school full time and figure out how to pay bills and keep my phone on, that was a problem. I changed my number like every week because I was like going to getting those little Go phones out of the bag, the little $9.99 phones. It was crazy. Also the financial part of it. Being an artist, sometimes they call it a starving artist, and I don't like to align with that title, but sometimes you have to decide, like, what am I getting ready to do with this check that I'm about to get? Am I going to put this toward the rent, or am I going to get food for the week, or am I going to get something to wear to the next audition? So it's a robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of situation. That's also just the comparison. You get to auditions and the person before you has wailed the walls down, and you're like, I can't do that. Why would I even go in here? So it's like a whole mental thing of fighting against yourself before casting even looks at you and judges you. You're judging yourself. So all of those things you're wearing a lot. You're wearing a lot already. And then outside of that, the career is very privileged. Being that you also most of us have to work other jobs to make it happen. There are very few of us who can say, oh, I have a partner who pays all my bills and all I have to do is focus on auditioning. So even though I've worked from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., I still have to go home and learn those lines because I have an audition in the morning and I'm exhausted and I may not have eaten as much as I needed to, or I may not have made as much money as I need to, but I know that this is a chance, that this is my dream, this is what I really want to do. And so those are some of the things that can kind of be, problems. And I don't want to say problems, difficult.
I was going to say challenges come with any profession.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're trying to better yourself or get a different role, I mean, also there's limited runs of any show. So every actor is probably always looking for the next thing.
That's another thing. Yeah. You're always looking for the next thing. I feel like when I was teaching, I was always looking for the next thing, but I was looking for the next thing because I wanted to leave the profession. I wasn't always looking to see, where will I be teaching next year? Will I have a job? Is there any job security? No, there was a lot of security there, but as an actor, you got a gig, but you know that either there's an end date or there's one coming soon, and your bills don't stop. So it's like, what am I going to do next? So it's always a hunt for the next thing.
Being able to pay your rent is quite a nice thing for anyone.
Rent is at an all-time high these days.
So was there any particular, I mean, also the fact that you probably go on so many auditions and you probably have not gotten every role, was there any particular break that you got or a particular person that you are grateful for that just kind of encouraged you to keep going?
I will say that I have a very strong community. I get encouraged to keep going almost every day. There are so many people around me who see me even sometimes better than I see myself, because I know my limits. I know, but people outside seem to think I don't have limits. And there are always people who are like, I have a friend who told me, you're the man who won't quit. And because you won't quit, it makes me keep going. You get told no so many times. It seems like every time you're like trying this, then this doesn't work. You're like, go over here and try this, and this doesn't work. Or it doesn't work to the level that you want it to, or that you see it. But you continue to wake up and keep going. And so that's very encouraging. Also, like I work a part-time job at a theater where I'm a bartender, and sometimes I run into casting directors whom I may not know them by their face, but they know me because they see my tapes or they see my work somewhere, and they'll say, "Oh, you do great work," and so that's very encouraging because sometimes the rubric for us is the job. If I don't get the job, I didn't do great. But to hear someone say, I saw you, I continuously see you, and you do great work, maybe you just didn't fit this particular show that you wanted or that you went in for, but it doesn't negate the fact that you are great.
That must be encouraging for you.
It is, and it's little nuggets like that because I'm always... So last year, or was it year before last, I counted. I said when I get to, because they say there's 100 no's to every yes. So I auditioned, and I counted my auditions, and I said when I get to 100, if it's 100 no's, I quit the business. I got to 88.
Okay.
And so it's little things like that, or keeping track of that, or like a casting director saying, or someone who holds little merit, or someone seeing you. I walked into an audition the other day, and they were like, "We saw you on Password." The casting director said that to me. And I was like... You did? They're like, oh, yeah, you were great. And I was like, but it's me. Like, I'm coming here to get a job. I'm nothing. I'm no one. I'm not nothing. I'm not no one. But, and they knew me and saw it. And so it's like little things like that people see you. And even though you don't get that instant reward, people see you, people acknowledge you. And so those little things, I have an album in my phone that says Matthew is awesome. So anytime someone sends me a text message that reminds me, I screenshot it, put it in that album. So when I'm having those days of like, maybe I'm not doing what I think I'm doing, I'll read those things and I'm like, oh, I get reassured.
I love that. I want to do that for myself.
It's
so hard to get in your own space. I mean, I was talking to someone the other day about, was saying like, I'm never doing enough for myself, and I'm always like discouraged, but it's like if you're always raising the bar, you never reach it. So it's not to diminish what you're actually doing, it's because your goals are always continually getting higher. So yes, you're reaching the goals, but you already set new ones that you kind of don't even think you're accomplishing something.
Amanda, that is so good. If you're constantly raising the bar, you never reach it. And that's what that's a natural thing.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Okay, because I literally said this the other day.
Or maybe I just said it to my friend. I was thinking that because we're in 2026. We're already thinking about our past, and you're thinking about what you're actually accomplished. And for me, I was kind of disappointed in myself, but then even going past, I was like, I need to give myself credit for those things.
Absolutely. And that's the place that I am in right now, where I'm giving myself credit and also giving myself a chance to take a break, giving myself a time to rejuvenate and reassess. Like, where am I now? Where are the goals that I wanted? Like, Broadway was the goal. I did it. And I've done Broadway shows. I've done 3 Broadway shows, 3 Broadway tours. I've done it. But in your brain, it's like, I haven't done it on this scale, so now I need to do this, and now I need to do that. I have appeared on the Tony Awards this year. I've appeared on Jimmy Fallon this year. I've appeared on SNL 50 this year. And there's this thing called Mixed Tiles. I got this idea from Danielle Brooks. Shout out to Danielle Brooks, where she did an accomplishment wall, and she took all of her pictures and printed them up, and they're framed. I just did that the other day, and I was like, oh, you did all these things. And I only did this year. Yeah. So I was like, and there's room for more. It's a constant reminder that bar that you set, you reached it. Now you can raise the bar and reach that one, but don't forget that you reached it before.
It sounds like you're going to need more walls. You're going to fill that up eventually.
I need to add on to my
You're
apartment.
Going to be... So you mentioned Password. You kind of jumped ahead of what I was going to talk about, but for anyone who doesn't know, it's okay. It's a perfect lead-in. So for someone who doesn't know what Password is, please explain what the show is and talk about your experience.
Woo! So Password is a game show, and it's been around a very long time. I got into it recently before I got on because I started watching it and I fell in love with it. Password is a game show. It's now hosted by Keke Palmer and Jimmy Fallon. Love those two. And it's a game where you're guessing the password. So there's a word, and your partner can only give you a one-word clue. No gestures, none of that. And you have to guess the password.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what was one of your? Were you nervous for it? Actually, I'll start with that.
Extremely nervous because the world is watching you. The world is watching you, and you're like, I hold myself, I have such a high standard for myself, and I'm harder on me than I am for others. So I'm like, you can't get on this TV and embarrass nobody. Like, people gonna be watching this show, and if you don't win, then you're not doing anything, and it's your chance to come up. And it's so many things going through your head, and so the stakes are high. But what combats that is the team is amazing. Like, even those people who work backstage are like, I had a handler named Kyle, and he was with me every step of the way, reassuring and making sure my makeup was good and I wasn't sweating. And like, they coach you through this show. Like, you practice it until it's innate.
Sounds like I need a Kyle.
We all need
in
a
life.
Kyle. We all need a Kyle.
In life in general. What was one of your, like, did you have any like funny blooper moments or favorite moments from the actual taping of the show?
My favorite moments. Okay. One of the moments was I was paired with Jonathan Groff, who is... It was so phenomenal to be partnered with him. You can get lost in his eyes easily. He's a great partner. That I got to sing on the show. I got to sing "Joy to the World" on the show, and I guessed one of the hardest. The clue was, what did he say? He said family. I think he said family, and the word was cousins, and I guessed it right out of the gate. I don't know how I got that, but that's the clip that has been circulating, and I watched that, and I'm in awe of myself. Like, wow, your brain really works, because how did you only had one clue. Family could have been aunt, uncle, the family tree. And it was cousins. And so that moment reassures me that you're not a dunce.
I watched that clip, so I recommend to any listener to actually watch it to know what you're talking about, because even I was watching it, I was like, how did he get that? Like, they must be cheating.
No.
Yeah.
I wish they were cheating. I thought they were going to, I was like, maybe this game show is going to cheat and they're going to let me win. No, that was not the case. There was no cheating at all. And Jimmy Fallon and Keke are hilarious. Like, they're just hilarious. They're so fun. And I walked away from the set, like, feeling like I had lost a family member. I was like, I'm supposed to be with them again tomorrow, and that's not happening. Like, it was just, you feel the love, and you feel that they enjoy their job, and it just makes you enjoy.
How did it happen?
I have a friend named Tavia who said, oh, I think you should apply for this. You'll be great. And so I filled out the stuff online, and I was like, okay, girl. I thought we were going, because I didn't know the show at the time, I thought we were going on there as a team, because we usually audition for like little game shows as a team. And I was like, okay, this will be fun. I always need like a little sidekick, or I'll be her sidekick, she'll be my sidekick, and we'll have a good time. And then they called me and was like, hey, let's set up an interview. Do you have time to talk? And I was like, yeah. So we talked a while. I think his name is Jeff, I think. But even from the person, the first person you speak to, no, the initial person I talked to was in Louisiana. And so we bonded on them being in Louisiana. They're like, we're going to move to the next round. Then the next person, I think his name is Jeff. Even from the first person, everyone, I don't know if they have a class where they teach you etiquette. They all treat you so like you're the most important person in the world, and you never want to leave the call. Like, it's really the culture of that. I think it's Fremantle. It's beautiful. I encourage anyone to apply for the game shows, and hopefully you get on and experience that. But yeah, you have that interview, and then you like kind of play the game loosely just to see how good you are, and it's random people, and then you play the game again, and then they invite you into the studio and you do a boot camp. So you're there all day playing with all of these potential contestants, and y'all are in the room. You're paired with this group, and it's like 4 of you at a time, and then you go in this room and do the bonus round, and then you go back out, and you all can not really talk about it. You can't talk about the words you had. You can't talk about anything. So you're just like silently eating a bag of chips, waiting to be called in again. And that's the process. And then you go home and hope they call you back to invite you to film.
Okay. What were some of the questions they asked you to interview you to decide that you would get cousins?
Oh, they literally play the game with you. So they have you like guess, like if I said this word, what would you guess?
Oh.
And then you like say what you guess. They're like, the password was this, but think about this. And they give you like a little strategy. I'm trying to think of one. Like you can even, like I shot the moon. So for shooting the moon, the word was Tony. And I knew I do musical theater. We're in New York. I knew Jimmy Fallon would get it. So I used award, but I sang awards. So I tried to sing it like a music. But I know people in the comments were like, that could have been Grammys. But I feel like I would have done like awards for Grammy because you do more stuff. But awards is more musical theater. So they teach you little strategies like that. So those are the things that you're doing in the interview.
How long from when you got interviewed to the show actually being recorded?
It was like a month.
Okay.
It was like a month. But every week it was something. It was like once the ball starts rolling, it starts rolling.
So you're in it.
You're in it, yes.
So you mentioned Tony. So let's go back to when you mentioned that your resume sounds great because you've done multiple shows. You said you appeared for Tony's. Like you had a 2025.
I had a 2025. And you know what? I deserve that 2025 because 2024 was a doozy. But go ahead.
We're all still catching up from 2020. So
Don't say that!
I think that everyone should pat themselves on the back that they've made it this far. So what was your role with the Tonys?
So I sang in a group called Broadway Inspirational Voices that was started by Michael McElroy that has been taken over now by Alan Renee Lewis. And the members of the choir sang behind Cynthia Erivo. And we sang a song called Sometimes All You Need Is a Song. And we opened the Tonys. And so... like, I got so much camera time. I can't find the clips now, but I got so much camera time. And when I watched it, I didn't know that I was going to be Cynthia's here and I'm right off her shoulder. She's so short, so petite, so there's no way to hide me. I didn't know that I was, and she wore, like, heels that were 20 feet tall, and still I was standing there like it was no question. When I got off the stage, I had at least 100 text messages, Instagram messages like, I just saw you on the Tonys. I just saw you on the Tonys. And I didn't realize it was the magnitude that was I didn't realize it until I watched it. And I was like, oh, I'm on it. I am literally on it. So, yes, that's what we did.
Do you have a picture of that on your wall?
I sure do.
Okay.
I sure do. I have that. I definitely have it.
So you mentioned some of the shows they've done. What are some of the shows that you have been in?
I have been in, as I mentioned, Motown the Musical. I've done Hairspray, as I mentioned. Also, The Book of Mormon.
Okay.
The Wiz National Tour and The Wiz that just was on Broadway 2024 with Wayne Brady, Deborah Cox. I was also a member of that cast.
So speaking of cast, are there any particular actors, could be a big name or a smaller name, that you've really enjoyed working with, or maybe I cannot believe I got to work with this person?
Well... now that you mention, I cannot believe that I got to work with Deborah Cox. I cannot believe that. Like, I sang her song, How Did You Get Here? I've sang that song since I was a little boy. And so to now be like, oh, that's my coworker. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Matthew. Like, know my name. Still comments on my Instagram. Like, we just know each other. So that also, some of my favorite cast members, like, this Wiz cast was amazing. So we're all still friends. We all keep in great contact with each other. We're always checking up on each other and watching each other shine in other places. So I would have to name the whole cast. I mean, I could if you wanted me to, but some of the ones who I really, really like speak to every day, like Allison Daniel, Avery Wilson, Kyle Freeman, Melody Betts, like, and the list goes on and on and on. But yes, those are my castmates. And to be able to, because usually with people in the industry, you go see them in shows, but now to actually work with these people every day and see their processes and learn so much. And I was a swing in The Wiz. So, and shout out to my swing family, Mariah and TJ and Dustin and Preston and Michael, all this, and Lauren. We covered everyone in the show. So we weren't on the stage every night. We were just there in case someone got sick or someone called out or whatever, I covered like 6 people, and I just had to know all their roles at any given time.
I was going to say that could actually be more challenging because if you're a backup actor for one role, you still have to learn everything, let alone like learning the roles of 6 people.
Absolutely.
What was challenging for doing that?
Because one of the things that's challenging is because it was a show that was revived or coming back, everything was new. So things would change all the time. People could change the choreography. People could change the lines. People could change the songs. Who sings what? Who stands where? And I need to know that. If you changed yesterday that this person no longer stands on 4, they stand on 12 and they help Deborah down the stairs, I have to know that if they go out tonight, I need to know that they switched. Now they help her because I'm throwing everybody off if I don't know that. So watching the nuance of 6 different people doing what they do, and these people are phenomenal because you can't go in there and they're at an 8. You can't go in at a 6. You have to come in at least at an 8.3. So like just keep it upholding the show. You feel like the weight of the show is on your back, and that show is moving, and costume changes, and the costumes are phenomenal, and it's so much going on, and knowing like, am I this person today? Because yesterday I was that person. So it's like a who am I today complex. It's like, wait, I don't even know who I am anymore. So yeah, it's a lot of information being thrown at you and a lot of rehearsal that goes into it, a lot of preparation, and just being very vigilant.
What is one thing that helps you transform into a particular role? Because obviously every role in general, but you're also always pretending to be a different person.
Absolutely.
So is there something that you do that kind of takes you out of being who you are to be that role, but also to transition into maybe a different role from that the next day?
I like to, absolutely, yes. I like to, or what my process is finding words that encompass this particular character that I'm creating. So is this person mischievous, or is this person very caring and kind? Is this a loving person? Is this a negative person? Like things that, and I also like to think of this person as an animal. Is this person a lion, or is this person an ant? Like what kind of person is this? And so whatever role I'm on for, I like to, as I'm warming up, as I'm stretching, I'll listen to a song that puts me in that mindset. Like, is it going to be a rock song, or is it going to be like a smooth R&B? So that I get the feeling of this person in my body and start to think about how this person may walk. And I do this in character development before we actually get the show going, so that it's easy to jump into this person, because sometimes I could be 2 people at once because 2 people didn't show up, and those 2 people I cover, so I have to split. So I have to be in a moment be able to jump into this well, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just so doing that prep work in the beginning and finding quick things that you can access. Okay, this is the word that makes me think of this person. This is the smell. When I think of this smell, this is what I think of this character. Okay, bam, I could jump into it really quickly.
Do you have playlists already pre-made for different types of roles, or do you just think of, you get the role and you're like, this is the kind of song that would motivate me?
I get the role. I will create the playlist once I think of songs. And Apple Music is great for that. Like if you play a song, it'll start playing songs like that. And I'm like, ooh, add this, ooh, add this, ooh, add this. And so I start adding to that playlist then.
Okay. Because I mean, everyone has like a life playlist. Like I have a breakup playlist. Like I have like for different phases of my life. So I didn't know if you had like, I'm a serious actor, I'm a negative actor. Like if you have your actually pre-made things, or you do it on the spot for every new role as a new playlist.
Well, I will even do it for like the audition.
Okay.
So then it's made for in case. In the small chance that I get the role, then I'm already there.
You were talking about being a math teacher, and I know that you're still continuing your math journey.
Yes.
So you have MathYOU.
Yes.
And how do you spell it? It's for the app, right?
It's the website, yes.
Okay.
MathYOU. Let MathYOU, MathYOU. MathYOU.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So you already started with saying that you went into math to be a teacher when you were still trying to find that stable career.
Uh-huh.
But it's nice that you kept it with you. But now how have you transitioned that to become a math tutor, but also incorporate still being an actor, singer, and math? They kind of, I don't think a lot of people would think those two go together.
Oh, but they do.
Yeah.
So we have to thank 2020 for that.
Okay.
Because during the pandemic, no one was going to school and everyone had online school. and the students were suffering. Excuse me, pardon me. And my best friend, Cordell Guillory, I always have to say their names, like, because maybe they'll listen to this and be like, oh, he said my name.
I hope they listen to
I
this.
hope they do too. He messaged me and he said, there are a lot of people on my timeline who have trouble with math. I think you should like reach out and help them. And I was like, okay. So originally I was just reaching out to people like, hey, if you need some help, let me know. And the response was overwhelming. I was spending all day just tutoring people and I wasn't charging. I was spending all day just like helping people online with math, people I had never met. And it was fun, but it got exhausting. And I was like, I should probably charge so that it can kind of lessen the people, but also I get some form of money from it. And I was charging $25 an hour to tutor people, and it still wasn't going down enough. But I was tutoring so much that I was paying my rent alone from tutoring. And so I continued to do that, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being a part of these students' lives. Even people, like I said, people who I had never met, I enjoyed connecting with them. There are people who live in Arkansas and LA and Florida, and I'm like, I've never met you, but if I come there one day, let's hang out and let's do something. And they're like people who I started with in the 8th grade are now graduating, and it's amazing to watch their journey, and it's amazing to get those little text messages at night from their parents. They're like, hey, I don't think they let you know, but they made a 90 on their test. I'm like, what? So the next time I see them on Zoom, I'm like, so what happened with the test? Oh, I made a 90. So you're not going to share that with me? So It's just nice to be a part of that and also to do my part and help. I feel like I have a gift of reaching people who struggle with math because there's a stigma attached to it. It's just like, I can't do that. I feel like people decide early on in life if they're a math person. I'm like, you don't have to be a math person. If I can speak to you, I can get you to understand what you're doing, because I also like to relate it to real life. And so with that, I started doing math content just to show people that math is relatable and also to attract more clientele. And it got fun to me. So I created a song and released it, and then released it with a dance. And my ultimate goal is to develop some sort of partnership with schools where I can take actors around to different schools and meld the arts and education. So writing a musical that the characters are numbers or division signs or whatever, and they actually go through processes. So because I had a teacher in math who I had advanced math, and I had a teacher who I was looking at her, but I was like, I don't get this. But until I had someone who was making me like, oh, this makes sense. Oh, it stuck with me. And so I won't remember what she said, but I'll remember what we did, or I'll remember the song, or I'll remember the dance. And so I was like, oh, okay. So yeah.
Was there a particular person who kind of pointed out to you that you were good at math, or did you just you just realized it on your own and enjoyed it?
I think college pointed it out because originally, let me be honest, I went into this because most of my friends were majoring in this, and I wanted the same schedule as them. So we just scheduled our classes together originally. And I enjoyed math. It was great. But when I graduated, I was like, oh, you have to do this. Like, you graduated with a math degree. You got to teach. So I started teaching, and I didn't really like being in the classroom. I enjoyed the students. But being somewhere every day at 8 o'clock in the morning is stressful for me. And so I found that isn't my path. That isn't good for my mental health. But me being able to tutor on my own terms, not being in a four-wall space, I can tutor from anywhere. I can tutor on Mars if I need it, if I had Wi-Fi connection. And so that helps me be like, oh, okay, I can tour and tutor. I can be eating and tutor. I can go to this party, take an hour break, come tutor this client, then go back to the party. So all of that works for me. But what helped me realize that I was good at math is just like, I was in Cal 3, like, oh, this is what it is? Oh, got this. Like, so that let me know that you got it. Like, you know what's going on. You can do it. And I also had an 8th grade math teacher, Tamara Whittington, who was phenomenal. I noticed the change from my 8th grade math to when I got to high school, and I had a different teacher who didn't do everything that she did. And I kind of struggled a bit. So I look as an adult looking back, I was like, oh, that is where the disconnect was. These teachers were just literally writing on the board. I maybe I'm undiagnosed, but my attention span, you got to keep my attention. You got to keep me focused. You got to grab my attention and be like, I'm going to keep it for an hour, and I'll let you have it. So she did that, whereas the other teachers didn't really. So I knew it wasn't the fact that I couldn't do it. It was the fact that I'm just not interested in what you're doing.
So as we're into 2026,
Mm-hmm.
do you have anything coming up, or do you have any goals that you're setting yourself up for this year?
So this year, my goals are to focus on the original dream, and that is to be the next Denzel, to be the TV actor. And so I've been taking classes at the Professional Improv Theater with Joe Welsky and preparing myself for TV acting.
Okay.
I want to go into TV. I think theater is amazing, and the way that the industry is moving now is like you kind of got to be a name to come back and do the thing on Broadway. And so maybe this is my going here to come back, or maybe it's going here to stay over there. But TV, movies, film, national commercials, that is where I am setting my goals, and that is where I'm going. I want to be on Abbott Elementary. I want to be on Reasonable Doubt. I want to be the guy who is on a show and it's like, oh, when they see me in public, they're like, oh, can you say the line that you say on TV? Oh my God, I want to hear you say it. And whatever that line is, that's where I see myself going next.
I'm wishing you all of the best. So for everyone who wants to follow and make sure you are going to get your dreams come true, where can people follow you on social media?
They can follow me in two places. They can follow me at Matthew Sims Jr. on TikTok and Instagram, MathHewSjr. And they can also follow me on my math page, because someone out there I'm sure needs some math help, at MathYOU Tutoring on both of those as well, MathYouTutoring. And I also forgot to mention the American Dream Mall. It's my favorite mall.
Okay.
Yes, so definitely go there. Bring a lot of money, because I think when I go oh no, when I go there, I spend at least $500 that I don't have. So yeah, because you got to go to the amusement. You got to go to the amusement park. They have an amusement park that you can go skiing in there. You can go ice skating. So it's like an all-day thing.
Well, you have all these jobs apparently, so I think you'll be. American Dream Mall is getting all of your money apparently. Thank you for listening. Make sure you check us out wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and follow us at Don't Sit Home and the Best of NJ podcast on social media.